My dear child, I watched you scroll past this message 3 times already. Something inside you knew you needed to hear it, but you kept moving because you are terrified of what I might say. You are terrified that I will confirm what you have been feeling every time you see their name pop up on your screen and your stomach drops before you even read the message. That split second of dread mixed with hope that has become your new normal. You know exactly who I am talking about. Their name just flashed through your mind the moment you started reading this. And now your heart is racing because some part of you has known all along, hasn't it? I see you lying in bed at night, phone in your hand, reading through old messages trying to find proof that you are wrong about them, searching for evidence that the person you fell for is still in there somewhere, buried beneath all the disappointment. You scroll back to the beginning, to those early conversations when everything felt magical, when they said all the right things, when you felt chosen for the first time in so long, and you wonder what changed. You wonder if you imagined how good it was. You wonder if maybe you are the one who ruined it by expecting too much, by being too sensitive, by not understanding them the way they needed to be understood. But my precious one, what if nothing changed at all? What if the person they showed you in the beginning was simply the audition, and what you are seeing now is the actual performance? What if those early days were not a preview of your future together, but bait carefully designed to get you invested before the mask came off? I know you do not want to believe that. I know it feels cruel to even consider. Because if that is true, it means you were not special to them. It means you were not the exception. It means everything you felt was built on a foundation that was never solid to begin with. You keep waiting for them to go back to being the person they were at the start, but that person never existed outside of a strategy. And the reason I am telling you this is not to break your heart further. It is to stop you from breaking your own heart over and over again by chasing a ghost. You cannot get back to a place you were never really in. You were in love. They were in audition mode. And now that they have you, the effort has stopped because the goal was achieved. You are experiencing the post-purchase neglect that comes when someone views relationships as acquisitions rather than commitments. I know what you are feeling right now. You are feeling angry at me for saying this. You are feeling defensive of them even though they have given you countless reasons not to be. Because defending them feels safer than facing the alternative. The alternative is admitting you have wasted time, admitting you ignored red flags, admitting that people warned you and you dismissed them, admitting that you saw the signs early on but talked yourself out of trusting your instincts because you wanted so badly for this to be different. And that admission feels like failure. It feels like proof that you are not smart enough, not intuitive enough, not valuable enough to attract something real. But my child, being deceived does not make you foolish. It makes you human. It makes you someone who leads with trust instead of suspicion. And while that openness has cost you, I do not want you to close your heart as a result. I want you to sharpen your discernment. There is a difference. A closed heart protects itself by refusing to feel. A discerning heart protects itself by refusing to ignore what it feels. You have been operating with a closed mind to your own intuition because you were afraid that listening to it would cost you the relationship. But ignoring it has cost you something far more valuable: your peace, your confidence, your sense of reality. Let me ask you something, and I need you to answer honestly, even if it is just to yourself. How many times in the last month have you felt anxious about where you stand with them? How many times have you checked your phone hoping for a message that would reassure you? How many times have you replayed a conversation trying to figure out if you said something wrong, if you pushed too hard, if you scared them away by needing too much? How many hours have you spent trying to be less, trying to shrink your needs down to a size they might be willing to meet? If the answer is more than once, then you already know the truth. Love does not feel like a guessing game. Connection does not feel like walking on a tightrope. Healthy relationships do not leave you wondering if you are too much or not enough. They leave you feeling seen, steady, and safe. And I know what you are about to say. You are about to tell me that all relationships have rough patches, that everyone goes through phases where they pull back, that you cannot expect someone to be perfect all the time. You are right. But there is a difference between a rough patch and a pattern. A rough patch is temporary. A pattern is a personality. A rough patch happens because of external stress. A pattern happens because of internal character. And what you have been experiencing is not a phase, It is a revelation. This is who they are when they are not trying to impress you anymore. This is what you get when the performance ends. Before we go further, I need you to do something. I need you to pause and acknowledge that you are still here, still reading, because something in your spirit is responding to these words. You are not here by accident. You are here because I brought you here. And if this message is cutting through the noise and reaching the part of you that has been silenced, I want you to leave a comment below. Just type the words, "I am listening." You do not need to explain. You do not need to tell your story. Just let that be your agreement with me that you are ready to stop running from what I have been trying to show you. And if you know someone else who needs to hear this, someone who is stuck in the same cycle of confusion and false hope, share this video with them. Sometimes the most loving thing you can do is hand someone the truth they have been too afraid to face alone. Now, let me tell you what you are really afraid of. You are not afraid of being alone. You are afraid of being alone and finding out that you still feel lonely. You are afraid that removing this person from your life will not actually solve anything, because the emptiness was already there before they came along. You are afraid that the problem is not them. The problem is you. That you are fundamentally unlovable, fundamentally too broken, fundamentally incapable of keeping someone interested once they see who you really are. And so you stay. Not because the relationship is good, but because leaving would force you to confront the deeper fear that you are the common denominator in all your failed connections. But my child, I need you to hear me when I say this. You are not the problem. The way you love is not the problem. Your needs are not the problem. What is the problem is that you have been offering your love to people who are not equipped to honor it. You have been pouring into cracked vessels and then blaming yourself when they cannot hold water. You have been giving your heart to emotionally unavailable people and then internalizing their inability to connect as proof of your inadequacy. But a seed does not fail to grow because it is defective. It fails to grow because it was planted in soil that cannot sustain life. And you, my precious one, have been trying to bloom in toxic ground. Do you know what I see when I look at your relationship with this person? I see you doing all the work. I see you initiating most of the conversations. I see you making excuses for their lack of effort. I see you celebrating the bare minimum as if it is a grand gesture, because you have become so starved for affection that crumbs feel like a feast. I see you convincing yourself that their occasional attention is proof that they care, while ignoring the consistent evidence that they only show up when it is convenient for them. I see you rearranging your life to accommodate their schedule, while they never once adjust theirs for you. I see you, and it breaks my heart because you are worth so much more than what you have been accepting. And here is the part that is going to sting, but you need to hear it. They know exactly what they are doing. This is not ignorance. This is not them being oblivious to your needs. They know you are hurting. They know you are confused. They know you are waiting for clarity, for commitment, for any sign that you matter to them beyond being a convenient option. And they are choosing not to provide it because keeping you in limbo serves them. As long as you are uncertain, you will keep trying to prove yourself. As long as you are unsure where you stand, you will not ask for more. As long as you are holding on to hope, they get the benefits of your devotion without the responsibility of actually showing up as a partner. You have been calling it mixed signals. I am calling it exactly what it is. Manipulation, not the dramatic, obvious kind that you see in movies, the subtle kind, the kind that makes you feel crazy for even questioning it, the kind where they give you just enough to keep you hooked, but never enough to make you feel secure, just enough affection to stop you from leaving. Just enough attention to make you think maybe you are overreacting. Just enough promise to make you believe that if you just wait a little longer, if you just love a little harder, if you just prove your loyalty one more time, they will finally choose you the way you have been choosing them all along. But they will not. And I know that hurts to hear. I know you want me to tell you that patience will pay off, that your faithfulness will be rewarded, that if you just hold on, everything will click into place. But I love you too much to let you keep believing a lie. The truth is that people who want to be with you make it clear. People who see your value do not leave you guessing. People who are serious about you do not keep you as a backup plan while they explore other options. And someone who truly loves you does not make you feel like you are asking for too much when all you are asking for is basic consistency and respect. I want you to think back to the last time you felt genuinely at peace with this person. Not the temporary relief you feel when they finally text you back. Not the fleeting happiness you get when they give you a bit of attention after days of silence. I am talking about deep, sustainable peace. The kind where you are not checking your phone every 5 minutes. The kind where you are not analyzing their words for hidden meaning. The kind where you go to sleep without a knot in your stomach. When was the last time you felt that? If you have to think hard to remember, or if you cannot remember at all, then that is your answer. That is me showing you the truth you have been avoiding. Now, if this message is resonating with you, if you feel seen in a way that is both comforting and confronting, I want to ask you to do something. Hit that like button. I know it seems like a small thing, but it is actually an act of agreement. It is you telling yourself I deserve to hear the truth, even when it hurts. And if this video has given you clarity, if it has put words to feelings you have not been able to articulate, subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications. You need a steady stream of truth in your life, especially when everything around you is trying to convince you to settle. This community exists to remind you of your worth when the world and the people in it try to make you forget. Let me tell you what else I see. I see you making yourself smaller to make them comfortable. I see you editing your words before you speak, calculating how much emotion is acceptable, how much need is too much. I see you pretending you are fine when you are falling apart because you are afraid that showing your pain will push them further away. I see you performing low maintenance when you are actually high value, and it is exhausting you. You are so tired of managing their perception of you, so tired of walking on eggshells, so tired of being the one who always adjusts, always apologizes, always takes the blame to keep the peace. But my child, you were never meant to contort yourself into a shape that makes you easier to abandon. You were never meant to audition for a role in someone's life. You were never meant to compete for attention that should be freely given. And the fact that you have been doing all of this is not a reflection of your worth. It is a reflection of their inability to see it. A person who cannot appreciate you at your most authentic is not someone you need to perform for. They are someone you need to walk away from. I know you are scared. I know the idea of starting over feels overwhelming. I know you have invested so much time, so much emotion, so many hopes into this connection that letting it go feels like losing a part of yourself. But here is what you need to understand. What you are holding on to is not a relationship. It is a fantasy. It is the idea of what this could be if they would just try, if they would just change, if they would just see you the way you see them. But you cannot build a future on potential. You cannot sustain yourself on promises, and you cannot keep watering a dead plant hoping it will come back to life. The version of them you fell in love with, the one who made you feel alive and chosen and special, that person was a preview, not the full movie. And you have been sitting in the theater for months now, waiting for the story to get good again, not realizing that the preview was the best part. This is the actual film. This inconsistency, this confusion, this feeling of never being enough. This is what you signed up for without knowing it. And you can either sit through the rest of it hoping for a plot twist, or you can get up and leave before you waste any more of your precious time. Let me also tell you what is going to happen if you stay. You are going to keep having the same circular conversations where nothing gets resolved. You are going to keep crying alone while they remain unbothered. You are going to keep lowering your standards, telling yourself that what you are asking for is unrealistic, convincing yourself that everyone struggles like this. You are going to watch them put effort into other areas of their life, their hobbies, their career, their friends, and you are going to wonder why you are not worth that same energy. And slowly, piece by piece, you are going to lose yourself. Not dramatically, quietly. You will stop recognizing the person in the mirror, because you have spent so long trying to be who they need you to be that you forgot who you actually are. Is that really the future you want? Is that really worth holding on to? Or are you ready to admit that I have been showing you the exit sign for months, and you have just been refusing to walk toward it? I am not asking you to make a decision right now. I am asking you to stop pretending you have not already made it in your heart. You know what needs to happen. You have known for a while. You are just waiting for permission, for a sign clear enough that you cannot talk yourself out of it. So here it is. This is your sign. Not because I am cruel, but because I love you too much to watch you settle for someone who treats you like an afterthought. And listen, I know there is a part of you that is thinking, but what if I am wrong? What if they do care and they are just going through something? What if I walk away and regret it? So let me ask you this. If someone truly cares about you, would they leave you in this much pain and confusion without trying to fix it? If someone is going through something, would they shut you out completely instead of letting you support them? If someone values you, would they risk losing you by being inconsistent and distant? The answer to all of those questions is no. And deep down, you already know that. I also want to address something that I know is haunting you. You are terrified that they are going to move on quickly, that they are going to give the next person everything you begged for, that you are going to see them transform into the partner you needed them to be, but only after you are gone. And that fear is keeping you trapped because the idea of them becoming better for someone else feels like the ultimate rejection. It feels like proof that you were not worth the effort. But my child, if someone only becomes the person you needed after you leave, that does not mean you were not enough to inspire change. It means they did not respect you enough to try while you were there. And that is not a loss. That is a bullet dodged. Right now, I want to ask you to do something vulnerable. I have pinned a comment below this video about supporting this ministry. If these words have been a lifeline for you, if they have given you the strength to see clearly, if they have reminded you that you are not crazy for feeling what you have been feeling, consider sowing a seed into this work. I do not say this lightly. I say it because messages like this one take time, prayer, and resources to create. And when you give, you are not just supporting me. You are becoming part of a movement that is helping thousands of people break free from toxic patterns. Check the pinned comment. Even the smallest contribution becomes powerful when it is given with a grateful heart. You are not obligated, but if you have been blessed, be a blessing. Now let me tell you what happens when you finally choose yourself. At first, it is going to hurt. You are going to miss them. You are going to want to reach out. You are going to see something that reminds you of them, and your chest is going to ache. You are going to wonder if you made a mistake. You are going to have moments where you almost go back, and that is normal. That is part of the process. Grief does not mean you made the wrong choice. It just means you are human. But underneath that grief, there is going to be something else. Something you have not felt in a long time, relief, a lightness. A sense of freedom that comes from no longer pretending. You are going to wake up one morning and realize you are not anxious anymore. You are not checking your phone every 3 minutes. You are not rehearsing conversations in your head. You are not trying to decode their behavior or figure out what you did wrong. And in that stillness, you are going to hear my voice again, clearly, without all the noise of confusion and chaos drowning it out. And I am going to remind you of who you were before this person made you forget. I am going to show you that you are still that person. You did not lose yourself. You just set yourself aside to make room for someone who was never going to appreciate the space you gave them. Let me also tell you what I am already preparing for you. I am preparing a love that does not make you guess. A love that shows up without you having to beg for it. A love that celebrates your depth instead of punishing you for it. A love that sees your sensitivity as a strength, not a burden. A love that does not require you to minimize yourself to make the other person feel bigger. But that love cannot come into your life while your hands are full trying to hold on to someone who has already let you go. You have to release what is not yours so you can receive what is. And I need you to trust me when I say that I see the bigger picture. I see the person I am aligning you with. Someone who is also being prepared. Someone who is also learning the lessons they need to learn so that when you meet, you are both ready. But that timeline gets delayed every day you spend investing in someone who is not part of the plan. Every day you give your energy to the wrong person is a day you are not available for the right one. And I know that feels harsh, but it is the truth. You cannot be found when you are hiding in a situation that was never meant to keep you. So here is my question for you. How much longer are you going to wait for someone to see your value? How much more of yourself are you willing to lose in the process? How many more nights are you going to cry yourself to sleep before you decide that enough is enough? I am not asking you to be strong. I am not asking you to have it all figured out. I am just asking you to take the first step, and the first step is admitting the truth. Admitting that you already know what you need to do. Admitting that you have been avoiding it because facing it feels impossible. But my child, you have survived impossible before, and you will survive this too. If you are still with me, if you have read this far, I need you to do one final thing. Comment below and say, "I choose myself," 3 words. That is it. Let it be a declaration. Let it be the moment you stop negotiating with reality. Let it be the turning point. And then share this video. Not for me, for the person in your life who is stuck in the same place you are leaving today. Be the catalyst for their freedom. Be the voice that finally breaks through. You never know who is one message away from walking out of their own personal prison. My beloved child, I did not bring you to this message to leave you hopeless. I brought you here to wake you up, to remind you that you are worth more than uncertainty. You are worth more than breadcrumbs. You are worth more than someone who only loves you when it is convenient. And the moment you start believing that, the moment you start acting like you believe it, everything changes. Not because the right person suddenly appears, but because you stop accepting the wrong ones. Not because you become perfect, but because you stop pretending that imperfect treatment is what you deserve. The truth I have been showing you about them is this: they are not capable of giving you what you need. Not right now, maybe not ever. And it is not your job to wait around to find out. It is not your job to be the exception to their pattern. It is not your job to love them into maturity. Your job is to protect your heart, honor your worth, and trust that I have something better waiting for you on the other side of your obedience. So let go. Not with bitterness, not with anger, but with gratitude that you saw the truth before you wasted any more of your irreplaceable time. I am going to close with a prayer, and I need you to pray it with me. Out loud if you can. Let these words become the turning point. Heavenly Father, my shepherd, my protector, the one who sees every hidden tear and hears every silent scream, I come to you today with a broken heart but a willing spirit. I confess that I have been holding on to something you told me to release. I have been fighting for someone who stopped fighting for me a long time ago. I have been making excuses, ignoring signs, and convincing myself that if I just tried harder, it would get better. But today, I am done lying to myself. Today, I receive the truth you have been showing me. This person is not my person. This situation is not your plan. And staying here is not faith. It is fear, Lord. Forgive me for the times I chose their comfort over my own peace. Forgive me for silencing my intuition because I was afraid of what it was telling me. Forgive me for treating myself like I was not worth protecting. I am sorry for all the ways I abandoned myself in the name of love. But today, I come back to me. I choose myself. I choose my peace. I choose my future. And I trust that you are making room for something real, something healthy, something that does not require me to shrink in order to fit. Holy Spirit, I ask you to heal the part of me that believes I am only lovable when I am low maintenance. Heal the part of me that thinks my needs are too much. Heal the part of me that has internalized rejection as truth. Restore my ability to recognize red flags. Restore my courage to walk away when something does not serve me. Restore my hope that real love exists and that I am worthy of receiving it. I release this person into your hands. I am no longer responsible for their growth, their choices, or their feelings. I am only responsible for my own healing. Guide me as I take the first step toward freedom. I pray this in the powerful name of Jesus, who broke every chain so that I could walk in liberty. Amen. Thank you for being here. Thank you for having the courage to face what you have been avoiding. Before you go, subscribe if you have not already. Turn on notifications. Share this with someone who needs it. And check the pinned comment if you feel led to support this ministry. You are not alone. You are seen. You are loved. And you are stronger than you think.